Hey everybody, NeoSolid22 back again with another grab video. Apparently pickups is not the cool word anymore, but it's what they are. It's pickups. So been a while since I shot a video, so I actually don't have that much. Made a few pickups here and there, and got some pretty decent stuff actually though. So let's get to it. First thing I picked up, I got from a guy, Murph's Game Rehab. He picks up games, sells them, decent prices, so I recommend check him out. He's on Facebook, but right now I think his Facebook page is shut down. He's getting ready to open up a website to sell games through, but if you can check him out, definitely check him out. Pretty decent deals. And so here's what I got from Murph's Game Rehab. First, Bubsy for Sega Genesis. This is actually complete. I can get it open. It's got the manual, and of course the cart and the cardboard insert, which is good. I actually already had this one, so if anybody's looking for a copy that doesn't have like as nice as this one, because this one's in great shape actually for a cardboard box, let me know. We can work out a trade or something like that. But really like Bubsy up until the 3D version. It's a very good game. I remember playing this when I was a kid. Pretty cool little game if you've never played it. Kind of a platformer type game. Sonic-esque, I guess, but not like with the speed version, but like graphic-wise and things like that, it's a lot like Sonic. So check that out if you haven't. Bubsy, very cool game. There's actually a sequel, and of course a Bubsy 3D, which was a disaster of a game. Next, one of the greatest board games of all time in digital form, Clue. Still got the hang tag on that one. Complete. Manual looks like it's got a little water damage, but that's no big deal, and the cart is in really good shape actually. But yeah, Clue, pretty fun game. You want to play a board game in digital form? Genesis was a pretty good place to play it. Clue's an awesome game. Next was one I actually haven't played before. This one's not complete, but I've never played it. It kind of looks cool. So, Devilish, The Next Possession. It's made by Sage's Creation, which, like I said, I've never heard of this one. Not complete. Cart's in great shape, though. Looking at the back of the box, it looks like a pretty cool game. I'm going to have to check it out. I need to hook the Genesis up anyway. I haven't played it in a while. But it's very cool. Glad to get that one for the Genesis collection, which is fairly small at this point. But I was always a big Genesis fan growing up. It's what I had first before Super Nintendo, so I really kind of have a lot of love for Genesis. Next, licensed game, Dracula. It's actually not a bad game. It's not great. You know, it's a licensed game, but not horrible overall. It's been a while since I played it though, so maybe I could change my opinion. This one's complete, super mint condition. Manual looks like it's never even been taken out of the case. Card is in great shape. Dracula. Keanu Reeves was in this movie. Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder. Pretty good movie. Francis Ford Coppola directed it. The game, not too bad. Check it out if you haven't. Another one from Murph. Shadow of the Beast, which also I have never played. It looks really cool if you check out the back. I don't know. It's kind of like it's a platformer, of course, like an action platformer. If you can see that, kind of like, I can't even begin to describe it. Possibly like Ninja Gaiden, Strider type action-y game, but I don't know. I haven't played it. This one's complete. I don't think this is an original case for it. I think it's a replacement case, but it's it's an EA game, of course, so it's got the larger. But this one comes with actually the manual and the poster, which I'm sure has got to be hard to find these days. So that's very cool. Shadow of the Beast. I gotta check this one out because I've never played it. But it's in pretty decent shape. The artwork looks a little damaged on the outside, but overall, good deal. Murph gave me a good deal on it, so I appreciate that. Next, the last one I got from Murph, Half-Life on the PlayStation 2. I've never played Half-Life. Half-Life 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time, but I never had a PC, and for some reason I never picked up one of the crappy console versions of Half-Life. But I actually want to play this because I've never actually played the first Half-Life. I've seen playthroughs of it, most notably on from Game Informer doing the super replay of it with Dan Reichert. But yeah, this is complete. I've always kind of wanted a version of Half-Life, so got one finally, and I'm actually going to play it. I really am, and I can't imagine it's awful, but I can't imagine it's that great either, being on the PlayStation 2 when PC is where it's really supposed to be played. But the second one's awesome. Definitely play that one if you haven't. Alright, so that's what I got from Murph. I really appreciate Murph. He gave me a pretty good, decent price on those. Good shipping. He's in Washington, I believe, Washington State, and decent shipping rates. Obviously, he split shipping with me because I bought a larger lot, but definitely check out Murph's Game Rehab. Next, I went to the first yard sales I've been to this year. Haven't been finding much at yard sales so far this year. They're really not ramping up yet. Got some citywide yard sales coming up though, but found in a yard sale from Russia with Love on PlayStation 2. $2 I paid for that one, if you can't see the sticker there that I left on there so far. In great shape, looks like it's never been played. Manual's still in there, hadn't been touched. Never played this one, but the 007 games are usually decent. They're, mostly licensed games, but obviously we've had like GoldenEye, which is great. And I've heard this one's not bad. It's not great, though, by any stretch of the imagination is what I've heard. But the artwork on the cover is actually one of my favorite things about this one. It's Sean Connery, of course, because he starred in that movie, and it's it's not a picture of him, but it's like a drawn art, or painted, something like that. But it's really cool artwork on the case. Next one I didn't have, Prince of Persia, the Two Thrones. This is not supposed to be a very good game, but I have a lot of the Prince of Persia games, and I didn't have this one, so I went ahead and picked it up for $2. You can't beat that really. That was at the same yard sale. Alright, next I hit Goodwill in Lake St. Louis a while back. This was probably the first thing I picked up out of all this stuff for this video, and I usually don't find that much there. There's a thing here and there, but this day they had a few things, so I went ahead and picked them up. First is something actually I've been wanting for a while. Urban Chaos for the Xbox. If you haven't heard of Urban Chaos, it's kind of a first-person fireman cop game. I mean, well, not fireman, but police riot squad game. It's actually pretty cool, and it's made by Rocksteady, who created the Batman Arkham games, at least 2 of them. And they're coming back to make the last one, apparently. But it's actually not a bad game, pretty decent. Check this one out if you haven't got a chance. As you can see, first person. Pretty good. Riot Response. Urban Chaos Riot Response. So check that one out if you haven't had a chance. Next, a great game, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. It's obviously a sports game. It's not really worth much. Not complete, unfortunately, but the disc is in good shape. That's a Goodwill find. So $3 for that. Not too bad. Not a great game here, but The Incredibles on GameCube. I like to pick up GameCube games because you honestly just don't see them that often. The Incredibles is a great movie. The game's not so good, but that is complete, so I like that. Went ahead and picked it up for $3. And last, they had some NES games there. I never see them there, but they had some. So for $3, I went in and picked up Skater Die 2. Obviously not worth much. It's not in great shape, but I didn't have it, so I figured I'd add it to the collection for $3. Why not? Alright, next, I was traveling down in southern Missouri, coming back from my hometown in Tennessee, and went through Cape Girardeau, and they have a Goodwill in Cape Girardeau, so I said, why don't we just stop? I'll check out what they got. It was a pretty good idea. So I went in there, and in their case, they just had a bunch of Super Nintendo games and a bunch of NES games. The prices weren't great. Somebody there obviously knew the values on these. They had pretty much retail pricing. However, a couple of them I thought were a pretty good deal. First, Super Mario All-Stars for the Super NES, obviously. Got that for $4, which is actually a pretty good deal on this. It goes for around $15. The label's a little, or $10 to $15, I guess. The label's a little rough, a little peely, but pretty good deal, I thought. So I picked that up. I've been meaning to get that one. I'm not a big Super NES collector, but certain games I'd like to have, and this was one of them. So I picked that up. Next, one of my favorite game series, one of my favorite games of all time, my favorite game series of all time, Legend of Zelda. This is probably like my 3rd favorite game of all time, I'd say, behind, well, a couple other Zeldas actually. But this is the Gray Card edition. I didn't have the Gray Card, so I wanted to get the Gray Card to go along with my gold one. I paid $10 for this, which is it's an okay price for this actually. So pretty cool. It's in great shape. A little dirty. I need to clean it up, but very cool. Nice to get a gray cart because you just don't see them that often. So I picked that up, and then I picked up a couple of PlayStation 2 games they had for a few bucks a piece. Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain, which I was a big fan of the Siphon Filter games, and I'd never played this one, but I heard it's not that great. Figured I'd check it out anyway. And then Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland, which I've never played Harvest Moon games, but I figured I'd give it a try, pick it up. Why not? Excuse me. And the last pickup is another add to my Final Fantasy collection. Somebody had tipped me off that V-Stock in Chesterfield had this game, excuse me, in box for $15, which it's not a great price on it. It's an okay price on it. But this is actually my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. The actual Final Fantasy 2 on SNES, but of course it was released as 2 here in the US, but it's actually 4. But this is in box. Box is in great shape. And it's just, I haven't even cracked open the wrapper on it. But it's obviously not new, it's used. But the box is ridiculous. I mean, whoever had this took such good care of it. But I got that for $15 at V-Stock, so I was pretty excited about that, to add that to my Final Fantasy collection. I guess that puts me at around maybe 25 titles I need to complete my Final Fantasy collection at this point. So most of those are just smaller, weirder titles like Crystal Bearers and Chocobo Tales and things like that. Chocobo, Kokobo, however you say it. But really happy to get this one, thanks to Matt and Martin, who kind of tipped me off to this. They had a couple more there. I didn't bite on one of them because I thought the price was a little high, and the other one sold before I got there. But really happy to get that in the collection. All right, and that's it for this week. Well, this month, because it's been a while since I've done one. We're having another St. Louis Retro Gamers meetup very soon, so I hope to have some stuff from that. Maybe post a video of the actual meetup. We're planning on doing a tournament of some kind. I may tape some of that, post it up for you guys to see, all my 20 or so subscribers to see. Thanks for watching.